Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to replace a inner tube / replace a tire on your bike. So this is an older tire. It's actually original that came with the bike, and the bike came from the 80s, so yeah, definitely needs to be replaced. So I've taken out all the air, so this would also simulate a flat. And then when I'm done, I'll show you how to put it back into the bike. Okay? So I'm going to have to try and show you how to do this one-handed. So you have your hook. Some tires are so easy to get off. Some are not. This is one of the some are not so easy. So right now I'm just pushing the bead away from the tire wall, and then I'm pushing it up like this, and then I'm going to use this little hook right here, and that's just going to hold it. Okay, and then I have another one, same type of leverage that I need. I'm just going to get that guy in there. Okay, and pull it to the side. So, now this is a much older tire, so things like that will happen. Then you're just going to continue with that pulling motion, and then it'll get very easy. Well, relatively easy then. Okay? And then, see, it's much easier now. You can do it one-handed even. Okay? Now when you're replacing a normal bike tire, inner tube, you're just going to take off one side of the sidewall, but since we're replacing the tire, we're going to take off both. But since we have one, we're going to take out the inner tube. So I'm going to start on the opposite side of the valve and just look inside of there. Then putting my phone down, I'm just grabbing that inner tube. Sometimes they're hard, sometimes they're very easy to get to. And this one is a little bit harder, but still fine. So I've started to get it out, and I'm just pulling it to the valve. That's all I'm doing. Okay. So now we have a tire that looks like this. All we need to do is uncap it and pull it out. Like so. It's a little bit hard to do one-handed. A lot of things harder. Okay, so we have bike tire with no inner tube. So should be able to do this one-handed even. I just need to get the other. Yep, I already started to do this. And boom. Bike tire is off. So now we have a rim. Now, so you want to make sure you still have your rim strip and that it's in relatively good condition. And you want to check it. This rubber thing is your rim strip. Now, if you do need to replace it, all you need to do is soak it in some soapy water. It'll become much easier to put back on. But this guy looks very good. Okay. Alright, so I have my tire. Now, most tires have a specific way that they rotate. This guy does not, so I can just put it directly on. So, what I need to do is just put it like this, just 1/2 onto the rim, and I'll be back to you when I'm done with that. So just, making sure the original point is still on. It gets a little bit harder as you continue. And of course you can use tire levers to make it easier on you. And then when you're completely done with that one side, you want to pull it over like this. See what I'm doing? I'm pulling it over. I'm not pulling the bead back off. but I'm just pulling the bead all the way to the side. Okay, now that's all done. Need to put this inner tube back in. Now, if you are repairing a flat, look at this guy. Might put some tape on there. Actually, it should be fine. It's the metal part that it's sticking to. So you want to have it, your inner tube, to hold its shape as it does, like so. Really just have some pressure like that. This also goes for mountain bike tires. So the way you want to install it is you get the hole for the valve, obviously. There. And you get your valve. Then you stick it into the hole. I'm going to do this both-handed to make it a lot easier on myself. Okay? So I have it in like that. And all I need to do is get it around like this. Okay? So what you want to make sure is that the tire, or rather the inner tube, has, it's not twisted at all. Because if it's twisted at all like a pretzel, you can easily get a pinch flat. And you don't want that. It's just a waste. Now, if this was a flat tire, you'd want to check the tire itself for like thorns or something. So all you need to do, run your hands on the inside to check for it. So since that we have like pretty much all done, just need to put the back on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start opposite of the valve. So there's the valve, and then I'm gonna start the opposite side. I'm just pulling it over the sidewall of the tire I'm talking about. Okay, almost done. And then, so while you're doing this, tire lever can definitely help you again on this. Especially if you have some stubborn tires. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just making sure the inner tube is all the way in, and then I'm just putting the inner tube in. Easy as that. Except I'm not done yet, and it's not that easy. Okay, so the last part is always the trickiest. As in, it feels like it never likes to go in. Okay, so as you can see, the tire is pretty much on everywhere, except for this last little bit. So you want to especially make the inner tube in there. Rather make sure that's in there. And then, so I already have one there, but I can put it like in here. So what I want to do is I want to take the hook and put it on the rim, and then put it under like so. Then I can run it along until I can't. And then when I can't, I'll take something on the other side and do the same thing. 3 levers sometimes, as it is right now for me, because it is quite difficult. This tire does not want to go on here at all. I'm almost there. As you can see, just have this one little side on there left to go. Oh, it's not focusing. But almost there. Since I have 3, I can continue to use this one because the area around it is done. This part is always the trickiest. Alright, so I have the tire all the way in. and I'm going to start to inflate it using my floor pump. Alright, so I've attached the floor pump, and we're going to take it up to a nice 40. Now, why 40 on so low of pressure? Well, that's because you want to make sure you didn't mess up, okay? So I'm a little bit over 40, actually. And this is so you make sure that you didn't do any pinch flats. And the way you do that is just make sure there isn't any flat spots. You can feel it with your hand, like what I'm doing. A little bit easier than, much easier one-handed. I mean, two hands, not one-handed. All right, so I'm all good. Now I'm gonna check the tire to make sure it's properly on here. Sorry about the dogs. That's probably on that side. And it looks like, yep, it's perfect. And I'll fully inflate it and I'll be back with you. Alright, time to replace the tire. Something I forgot to mention was if you do feel it flat, then you'll need to restart and make sure the inner tube is untwisted. Alright, I'm going to try and show this. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm pushing forward the derailleur, sorry, and then, okay, now I need to make sure the gears are not all messed up. That's by putting on cassette, putting the gears back on the correct way. Alright, see that it's working. Now you might notice that, first of all, brakes are rubbing. Sure, it's fine with me, I can fix that. Okay, so I have some bolts. I wish I had a quick release, but it's more of a, too bad, I kinda, yeah. Alright, so when you're tightening bolts, I want to make sure that the wheel in the center, over here, it's in the center. Makes sense? Because if you tighten one at a time, yeah, one at a time, and you do the other, then, you then risk. So I'm going to move my bike a little bit. It's in a wall for me. And, it means that your wheels are just going to be going to one side. You don't particularly want that. Something you always want to remember is not too tight, but tight enough. When I go biking, I always bring one of these guys. Immensely useful. Just locking. Easy to go. Okay, so I think I'm all done with that. And I don't think you can see. There you go. Oh. Okay. There you go. So you can see that my brake caliper is just a tiny bit off. So what I'm going to do is nudge it like that. And we're good. And everything worked. Which actually makes me really excited because it was an $11 tire. So that's pretty good. And hope you guys enjoyed. And if you'd like more content like this or just my content in general, feel free to subscribe. Here guys, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Sorry for my dirty hands.